Hey everyone, it's been 10 months since my hair transplant in Turkey, and in this video I'm going to cover everything that I learned from this experience. So if you are considering having a hair transplant, this video will help you. Let's get started. Alright guys, let's get started. So the things that I learned from having a hair transplant in Turkey, and I'm gonna cover all of the main things that you should know about. Now, first things first, there are two types of hair transplant, which is what I learned during my preparation and my research. There's the FUT, which is an older procedure, which is basically taking a strip of hair and implanting it. It leaves a scar, and this is a procedure that is no longer being preferred. I mean, it's still being performed and everything, but you would see that most of the clinics are going for the FUE, which is a slightly newer technique, and it involves extracting individual hair follicles, grafts, usually from the back of your head or from the sides as well, sometimes even from the beard if you don't have enough donor area, and then transplanting them where they need to be. So of course this is the procedure that right now is more popular, and most likely you would have that, but I would encourage you to research and consult with people, with doctors, to find out which is the right procedure for you, because it could be, in some cases, it could be that the FUT, the older procedure, is the one for you. So you will have to determine that in your research phase. Now, even before the research though, you should start preparing your hair, because you would need some time for the hair to really get into its best state, because you are your own donor, so you want your hair to already be at its best state. You know, as thick as possible, as strong as possible, as healthy as possible. And the preparation means that you will be taking some supplements, maybe topical treatments. There is minoxidil, Rogaine, which you can be using topical. Also, you can do some hair PRP procedures. I did 3 of those in preparation. This is basically a platelet-rich plasma therapy, which means that blood from you will be taken, then the plasma will be separated from that blood, and the plasma will be inserted into your scalp. This is helping to rejuvenate the hair, to make it thicker as well. All of the procedures, all of the different things that you can do, including supplements like biotin or vitamin D, iron, finasteride, you know, all of these are helping your hair to get stronger and thicker and healthier as well. It's important to do at least some of these things. I didn't take any supplements because I'm not really big on taking pills or capsules, whatever it is. I'm not really big on that, so I didn't really take any oral supplements, but I did 3 procedures of hair PRP, and it's good to actually leave a couple of months in between the procedures. In my case, I had 3 months in between because I took a good year of preparation before I underwent the procedure. And it's been now 10 months since the procedure, so you can see that my hair is looking really good. In fact, you can compare how my hair is looking right now to how my hair was looking prior to the operation. So you can see that it is visibly thicker, and of course after a year, after another couple of months, this is when I'm going to see the full results, the complete results, but it's already there. So it is important to prepare the hair. There are some other treatments like low-level laser therapy, which is the red light therapy. There is a scalp microneedling. So there are different procedures that you can do. I feel that the hair PRP is one that produces really good results, so it tends to be the most popular one. And of course the topical treatments with minoxidil, Rogaine. So if you do any of these, you're good. Then of course you need to do your research of different clinics, consult with different doctors, make sure that you have at least 3 or 4 clinics that you are choosing between, and then consult with them and see which doctor is the one that's going to give you the most confidence that they know what they're doing, that they have the experience and everything. I had consultations with 4 different clinics, 2 in Turkey, 1 in Cyprus here where I'm located, and 1 in London as well. And in the end, I picked Turkey. I picked Cosmedica because I felt that they have the most experience from everyone I spoke to. They seemed the most professional. We exchanged pictures as well. They instructed me how to take the pictures so that they can see before we actually had the consultation, so that they already had an idea of what needs to be done. They suggested 4,500 grafts, which was the most of anyone else. We discussed 3,500 with the other doctors, so I personally decided to go for 4,000 grafts instead of 4,500. Also, 4,500 would have required an extra day, second day. And I didn't really want to roll over another day, and I decided 4,000, which we can fit in one day, was sufficient for me. I wasn't really having any bald patches. I was just, my hair was thinning, and it was just looking a bit less dense. So I just wanted more density. I didn't really need it, complete covering of any bald areas. We also lowered my front line a little bit by, I would say, a centimeter, about a finger's width. And all of that was done in one day. So it was great. I personally was very happy with the professionalism of the clinic. They had several operating rooms with different teams of technicians and everything. Dr. Ajar, of course, is the main one. He is the one that overlooks the whole process. But there are different teams that work on these procedures, and I had 2 or 3 people always working on my hair. Extracting was the first half of the day. Extracting of the follicles, the healthy ones. They were also being checked under microscope. There was a separate person that was checking everything under microscope. Then we had a lunch break, and the second part of the day was implanting them here. So, and that was done by 2 or 3 people at different times. So it was very professional, very clean. A lot of people as well. We had at least 4 or 5, maybe 7 people actually that had that procedure on the day where I went. So you can imagine how many people were going through their doors. We're talking about dozens of procedures per week, and of course hundreds of procedures per month. So for me this was important because some of the clinics that I was consulting, they didn't really give me the same feel that they have that much experience. And this is important. Also, it's important to be that everything is done by hand, because there is certain artistry to this process. It's not something that should be done by a machine. And now there are some machines that are doing, the implanting and everything. I personally don't feel that the machine can do as good of a job as someone who's doing it by hand. So this is another thing to consider. I also have another video where I'm talking about these things in even more detail, all of the do's and don'ts and how to prepare and all of that. So you can check this video out. It will be linked at the end of this one. But let's move on. So price-wise, Turkey, of course, was definitely very competitive in terms of pricing. Typically, you can expect anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000 to be the procedure, to be the whole thing. There are different packages, of course. I didn't really want to go for the cheapest. This is why the clinic that offered $2,000 was the one that I didn't really go for. My procedure was around $3,000, and that was a package that included everything, including 5-star hotel, the transport, the procedure, of course. I was going for sapphire needle, and there are different methods that you can choose from with different tools, and they would advise you which is less painful. Of course, the procedure is with local anesthetic, so you are awake and there is a certain pain. It's not completely pain-free, but you do get a local anesthesia, and of course after that the pain is very little. But there is some pain involved in the procedure. It is not completely pain-free. However, it is, during the procedure only, and the next day I already didn't have any pain. The scalp, of course, is sensitive, so for a good couple of weeks after that, if you touch it or if you hit or anything, then you will feel the pain. But just generally, there is a little bit of discomfort in the first week, and that's about it. I would call it discomfort, not necessarily pain. Also, another thing to bear in mind when you're selecting your package is what else is included in the package. In my case, I had supplements for well over 6 months. And these were a lot of different oral supplements, including shampoos as well, and serums and everything. The shampoo and the serum I'm still using. The oral supplements I already run out, so I ordered some more from the clinic. You can do that as well with Cosmedica. I don't know whether all of the clinics have this kind of service and whether they will include the supplements for free in your package. This is something that you can probably ask. Or if you want to just go for Cosmedica, I will have the link in the description below. It's just their website. It's not a referral link or anything like that. But definitely it was good that I had booked a check-in suitcase, checked-in luggage, because with all of these supplements, especially the shampoos, they're well over 100 ml. I was not going to be able to travel with just hand luggage. So that's something to consider as well. At least on your return flight, on your coming back flight, you should be having your suitcase checked in so that you can carry all of the supplements and things that you will be getting from there. And it is good to go earlier and to stay a little bit longer, just so that you don't have to fly immediately straight after the procedure. In my case, I stayed a couple of days extra, which was good. I was able to have a look around Istanbul even more and just rest so that I can actually fly on the third day and not having to deal with flights in the immediate 2 days after the operation. And now about the aftercare. Well, the first week, I would say, is the most uncomfortable. You're not allowed to sleep on the sides, and you're not allowed to be pressing the head too much on the pillow because, of course, the area is still quite sensitive and you don't really want to be having your blood flow affected. So that's why you don't sleep on the sides. You're sleeping I personally was sleeping with a neck pillow that was provided by Cosmedica. They also provided a soft hat, you know, to prevent when I'm out and about, to prevent from dust and stuff like that. Also, when you shower, you're not supposed to be showering with the shower head because you don't want the stream to be too strong. So you are showering with just the regular tap so that you can have the tap water running smoothly and everything. I was using a foam for about half an hour before showering, and then during showering a different shampoo and everything that was provided. Sometimes I would actually put my hand and then I would be having the water streaming from my hand rather than directly from the shower head if I was to be using a shower head. And no towels for the first 2 or 3 weeks. No towel, just gently tapping the head with a paper towel. Paper towel is gentle enough, so this is what you would be doing. And then after a few weeks you can start very gently with a towel. But in the beginning, avoid towels. Also avoid hair clippers if you are going to be having a hair later on, of course, after a couple of months. When you start shaping the head and you're having a hairstyle, don't use clippers, just use scissors. So the machine is, at least for the first 6 months, don't use the machine. And that's what I was doing. I started having a hairstyle around the 4th month. This is when it was long enough to actually start, you know, styling it and everything. I think by the 5th month is actually when I had my first haircut. I didn't really touch my hair for the first 4 months. And in the beginning, I was only cutting it on the side, and this was my donor area, so it wasn't that problematic, but I didn't really cut it on the top for the first 6 months. And it's also interesting that I didn't really had any shock fall-off hair. In my research, it showed that it's kind of a standard practice to expect that at first all of the hair will fall off and then it will start growing again. In my case, it just started growing right away, and from day one. And you know, in the first weeks it was also quite obvious because, you know, the hairs are growing and you can see them and everything. Then it looks like it slows down. By the 2nd and 3rd month it looks like it slows down, but no, it's just growing steadily. And in the beginning it was kind of baby hair, very soft, you know, and it gradually it started getting thicker and stronger. By the 5th and 6th month, 7th month, it was already quite strong and quite thick as well. And it just gets thicker and thicker. Now, I did have a month of a break of taking the supplements because I ran out. And then by the time I got the new ones, it was at least 3 weeks, maybe 4, so pretty much a month. So right now I'm just starting to get back on the pills, on the supplements that I'm taking, and it's saw palmetto, biotin, and a complex formula, a pill that has a lot of different minerals and vitamins and everything, amino acids, everything that you need. It's such a strong and rich pill. I'm really happy with it. So overall, I'm very happy with what I'm taking, and I will continue taking them because I want to continue having that kind of a thicker and fuller hair. And as you can see from my time lapse here, the hair is already looking quite good. We have another 2 months until I complete the first year, and everyone says that after the first year is when you should expect the complete result. So after 2 months, come back and let's have a look at my hair and see how it's looking. I think it's already looking great. I'm very happy with the results, and hopefully you're impressed as well. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions for what you want me to cover in the next update, which will be coming in 1 month's time. So make sure you're subscribed, and also check out this video. I'm gonna see you there.